And we're live. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Multiverse Show, episode 49. We are live, ladies and gentlemen, and it is time to introduce the show tonight. Tonight, it is the Just Us League, just the original founders. We are rolling. So, let's start off with introductions of my co-host, one of the original co-hosts, Fame Entertainment.
What's going on, people? Fame Entertainment from TICGN.com. Welcome to another episode of the Multiverse Show, the greatest show on a Monday. And it feels good to be back. I know I've been out for, I kind of had a hiatus from YouTube about a week and a half because I had things going on, but I am back and I should be here on a more regular basis. I know you guys miss my pretty face and all, but we have a pretty good show lined up for you guys today, and I know you guys will enjoy it. It feels great to be with my compadres, my original guys, the three-headed monsters of Tick. Yeah, buddy, let's go.
All right, and my other co-host, Undead, Nick.
Oh, good to be back on the show on a Monday. Good to see Fame back on the show. And I'm going to try to enjoy my my show before I'm on hiatus for 2 weeks.
Yep, everybody's taking breaks. This is the holiday season, man. But you know what's going to be, though, right? It's almost episode 50.
Oh, snap.
Yeah,
I realized that when my work called me, it was like, oh yeah, you're working afternoons for 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of a nice change. So I was like, wait.
Yeah,
so you guys are gonna have to do like episode 49 and a half and 49 and 3/4.
Oh man. I'm excited, man. There's so much stuff going on here. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. Just in this community, we are finally getting up there. The inner circle is really kicking ass right now.
Yep, GameSpot showing that love.
By the way, we do have a donate option. There is going to be a button on YouTube. So if you are interested and you're more interested in throwing support towards this podcast and others like it, you can go donate. Not going to shove it down your throat. But it's
let me borrow $1.
I just need $3.50.
So anyway, going around talking about some of this cool stuff going on. Also, speaking of the inner circle getting up there, actually GameSpot gave us love for random stuff.
Yeah.
There was some talk about the Scorpio coming out, and there was going to be some sort of either event or reveal of sorts of some information. And we heard through the grapevine that I was like, yeah, maybe it might be on Thursday. Don't know. But apparently GameSpot said, oh, the inner circle said it. We're good. Let's go. Let's go. That's a story. Damn. I was a bit surprised they ran with that. I was like, wow.
Yeah. I mean, thank you.
Yeah.
But I'm all for the extra. I mean, and it's not the first time that the inner circle has been mentioned in GameSpot. I mean, you guys, everyone knows the news that the inner circle breaks out, at least on the Xbox side of things. You guys know the type of stuff that we put out, the type of exclusive content we get. So this isn't the first time, we've been in the crosshairs of GameSpot, IGN, etc.
Anyway, we got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. This is going to be an interesting little show with the Just Us League. So let's start talking about the first one. So over the weekend, there was a live stream where a Marvel VP from the comics and he's a digital media head guy was talking about a couple of different things, and he let it slip. He said, expect to see Spider-Man somewhere on your console in 2017. And that was pretty much it. There was no Insomniac relationship. There was no anything else. That's all that was said. And apparently this story went like wildfire over the weekend and even spread into this week. And a lot of really interesting stuff kind of happened. But real quick, just out of the three of us here, who's even interested about Spider-Man?
Fame. Spider-Man is huge in my household. I was never just the hugest Spider-Man fan until I really met my wife, and because my wife is huge Spider-Man fan, like Spider-Man fangirl, like none other. So I got more acclimated to Spider-Man. I really started liking him a lot, and the game's never just been like super great, but something just tells me like this game is going to be absolutely amazing. Like I said, there are very few of the older ones I enjoyed, but this one I'm definitely looking forward to. And if it drops this year, like I'm set, like I'm happy. I'm hyped. I'm still doubting, either Spider-Man and like God of War, for example. I doubt those drop this year. But at the thought of it may dropping this year, I'm excited because it's a day one buy. It's a pre-order. It's going to be a physical copy because I want that box. I want that artwork. I want that cover. Probably going to even be a collector's edition purchase when that comes out. I'm almost certain it's going to be a collector's edition. I'm excited for it. That's definitely a day one buy, and my hype level is through the roof right now. If this is true, I mean, I know Insomniac says there's no release date or whatnot, but them saying it's not them coming out saying there's not a release date doesn't mean it's not coming out this year. That's not they didn't come out and say Spider-Man not dropping this year. They didn't say that. All they said was there's no release date. So there's still a chance.
You remind me of Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There's still a chance.
What about you, Nick? What you sitting on?
I'm sitting on that. I think Sony's going to start splitting up their games, and like instead of dumping everything in holiday 2017, I think they're going to do what they did with this spring, and they're going to drop some bombs in 2018 spring. I could potentially see God of War and Spider-Man being spring 2018 releases, because then they don't really have a lot of competition. Because Microsoft is often notorious. I don't know what Nintendo's release schedule is like, but everyone drops games in, holiday from like October on. So it's really hard to snare your part of the market. But if you drop games in spring, as we saw with Horizon Zero Dawn, Neo, Nier Automata, if you drop games in a really dead time, your sales are going to look potentially better. Like there's been a real surge in exclusive sales because of Sony pushing their games in spring versus holiday. It seems exclusives, like I'm not saying God of War wouldn't do well in holiday, because everyone who has a PS4 is either going to love God of War or not like God of War. But like Spider-Man would be a good spring release because it's in that period where you're like, there's not a lot to buy.
It's definitely not a holiday game. You're right.
Yeah, like Insomniac's going to make a great Spider-Man game. I have no doubt about that. But putting it in holiday against like Call of Duty, Star Wars Battlefront 2, those kind of games, I wouldn't risk it personally. I think spring 2018s are very realistic. That being said, with Insomniac denying that there's a release time period for it at the moment, that could just be them saying, well, we're not allowed to talk about it till E3 when we give it a physical release date.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to believe. Sony has dropped a lot of exclusives so far this year. They've been rolling this year. It's just hard to believe that it's going to start out this great and end that great. Like there has to be a downtime somewhere. There's no way they can keep up this momentum. But if they do, good Lord, Microsoft got some catching up to do, because they've been dropping games nonstop for the first quarter of this year. If they end the year with a Spider-Man and a God of War, and to compare that to what they started the year with, Jesus. These people at Sony, or they got that, or Sony got developers working overtime to push these games out. It's crazy.
Yeah. See, I'm looking at it as, okay, first of all, Marvel VPs are full of crap. Like, I'm going to be honest here. These are the same kinds of dudes that say, Civil War 2 is going to be done before All New, All Different, which was like a requirement because All New, All Different Marvel in the comics started supposedly right after the events of Civil War 2. And they weren't even done with Civil War 2 yet. No, it wasn't Civil War 2. It was, damn it. What was it? Battle World. Like, it was like, this makes no sense. What the hell happened? And they did the same thing with, they also did the same thing with Civil War 2, where they kind of already started on the next project before they finished the other one, so everyone's confused as hell. What's going on? Like, you can't trust them when it comes to timetable stuff. They operate on a completely different scale than what we see. So that's the thing with the source from my experience with them. If Spider-Man coming out holiday 2017 doesn't feel right. It really doesn't. Spider-Man games have traditionally been more summer titles, spring or summer stuff, normally trying to somehow tie in with a movie. Not necessarily going to be a movie tie-in game, but just anything to tie in with some sort of movement or general superhero flair going on. They've normally done this. I wish, but keep in mind, for me, I'm like a where is it? I'm in like an abusive relationship here. I am so used to being beaten by Activision, by wanting and dreaming for good Spider-Man games and being destroyed every single time. And it's hard for me to love again, man. I can't just give Insomniac the hope. I can't do it. It's so hard. I can't.
I was gonna say, hey now, there was that one I remember playing on PC. Spider-Man 2 wasn't bad. It wasn't awful.
Yeah, no. Spider-Man 2, as in Spider-Man 2 from like the original Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock and everything.
Yeah.
Great. That was considered the last great Spider-Man game. Now, they had a good Spider-Man game was Web of Shadows, which was good. It was good. That's pretty much you leave it. It was just good. But then after that, everything just took a nosedive. Because after that, it was Shattered Dimensions, which was okay, mainly because it was like, hey, it's an homage to all the Spider-Man fans. Like, they got the Spider-Man, the voice actor from the Spider-Man 90s series, like, with X-Men and like Iron Man and all that kind of stuff. He was like the voice of Spider-Man Noir. You got Neil Patrick Harris, who was the voice of like the CGI Spider-Man, who was the voice of Amazing Spider-Man in this one. You got Drake Bell, who was the voice of the current Spider-Man, who was now the voice of who was like Ultimate Spider-Man. So they did a lot of fan service stuff, but since then the games have been trash. Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 were trash. Edge of Time was trash. Like, just you get used to being abused. You just get used to it. It's hard, and I want it to be true, but I just can't. My skepticism gets in the way. Just can't do it.
We'll see, man. I'm sure we'll see lots of gameplay at E3. We'll see, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say they haven't released a gameplay trailer. All we've got is engine trailers, right?
Yeah. So this is the thing. I was like, when the article came out from Push Square, they were the ones who broke the story, from my knowledge. They said, like, while judging based on Insomniac's past work, where we saw Sunset Overdrive gameplay at E3, and so using that, it's possible for them to come out within a year. So they could come out now. It's like, okay, all right, yeah, that was true, yes. But they haven't shown gameplay of Spider-Man yet. Like, and people were claiming, oh, they have, and it's like, no. They showed you in engine. They didn't show you gameplay. Until you see the HUD or anything else, that's not gameplay.
True.
So
I don't know. A lot of people too. They're combining it with Insomniac's track record, and they're also comparing it with. I can't remember. I think it was one of the Sony execs came out and said last year that they were going to announce a lot closer to the release date. Like, they were going to hold it closer to their chest about when the release date is so they could generate better hype around the game. Like, they're talking like 4 or 6 months. Here's the game. Here's when it's supposed to launch, and this is when it's going to be, and not give. Yeah, that basically. Trying not to wind people up, like, you know, how I've been saying here since I was a child waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yep. Man. I don't even know. But just quick kind of panel here. I just kind of, since I got some Spider-Man fans here, I'm ready to hear some stuff. If you will, if you could design the best Spider-Man game, in terms of, like, okay, what kind of like raw mechanics we talk about here, like side scroller, third person open world, that kind of game, and a story arc, what would you do? If you were given the keys to the kingdom to design me a Spider-Man game, we will pay for it all.
First off, you need to allow me to use Miles Morales. That'll be my first caveat. I'm sick of the whole Peter Parker thing. It's time for Miles Morales to get his shine, get his fame. I don't know, man. It's just you need to make a big emphasis on the transversal. Like, it needs to be seamless, you know, web slinging. It needs to be as seamless as possible. I don't know, man. It's kind of tough. to really think of what I want, and like I said, definitely had to be open. It had to be open world, which is almost obvious. I said Miles Morales, and the transversing will have to be the number one focus of the game. The fighting needs to be fluid as possible, because Spider-Man is all about acrobats and how smoothly and seamless he does stuff. And to me, that really shows what Spider-Man is all about. And if it's just regular, be on the ground a lot of the time, I have to come down to the ground a lot of the time and fight grunts, I really wouldn't be excited. It's all about what I can do as far as web slinging goes and the transversing, and I would have to have Miles Morales. Forget Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm. All right, Nick.
Yeah, I'm with Fame on that one. Like, it's hard to say what would make a really good Spider-Man game, because I never found with any of the Spider-Man games I played. I only played a couple, not that I can remember off the top of my head. Spider-Man 2 is the only one that stuck out with me, but that was just basically tit for tat for the movie. I don't know, the one thing I liked about Spider-Man always, and I feel like we don't have it with any of the superhero movies or games right now, is the fact that Spider-Man basically fights street-level crime on a day-to-day basis, which gives the games a lot of opportunity for, side missions and everything else. I don't know, but I agree 100% with Fame. The movement has to be perfect. It's got to be almost like Sunset. It's funny because Insomniac's making it, which kind of gives me a little bit of hope for this. But with Sunset Overdrive, I don't ever remember walking around a lot in Sunset Overdrive, because there was literally no advantage to walking around.
Okay.
So I think with the direction it's going, I'm just more interested in what kind of villains they can bring to it, because Spider-Man's got a lot of really weird and cool villains that they can pull for the game. So I'm kind of excited, and I would love to see I'd love to see Rhino personally. Yeah. Probably one of the
that would be dope.
Well, which one, mech or old school?
Old school, man.
All right.
It's I don't know. There's so many villains they can pull from. I really hope they don't just pull one villain. With the Spider-Man verse, there's so many they can use. I would just want them to use them all. If they can figure out something to do with Green Goblin, Rhino, and toss in a couple more, I'll be happy.
Mm-hmm. I have two, and I offer these freely. Please, somebody, just make this game for me. I don't even care. I will pre-order. I will get collector's edition if you do this for me. That's all you got to do. Just take one of these two ideas. Now, if you wanted to keep it just in the Spider-Man mythos, I have only one caveat. Now, both of these games are required to be third-person open-world Spider-Man games. They will require Spider-Man 2 swinging physics, meaning actual physics to it. It's an actual, all right, you have to jump at the correct arc to increase speed or height. Actually doing this is not that difficult. They did it on GameCube, goddammit. They could do it here. We have all this power and still can't figure this out. That's a side thing, though. So, one, if you want to keep it in Spider-Man universe, I would love a approach similar to an Arkham Knight or an Arkham game, where you were playing as Spider-Man at his worst. And I mentioned this actually on the last podcast, time for some shameless promotion, with Emilio Lopez, a colorist for Marvel, which we had on the show last week. You guys go and check that out on episode 48 of the Multiverse show. One of the things I kind of mentioned was the Evolve or Die story arc. It is a story arc where Peter is basically called out by Morlun, who is this obscure enough comic villain for Spider-Man who only feeds on spider essence. He goes from multiverse reality to multiverse reality to kill Spider-Men and other spider-themed people to suck their essence out. And what he does is he goes to Spider-Man and says, I'm giving you a month. Or I don't think he actually says an actual time. I'm giving you time. Get your affairs in order. I'm coming for you. And lays down the gauntlet. This guy is way more powerful than Spider-Man. and lays down the gauntlet and says, "Get your affairs in order." And what the game is from that point on is the game becomes you are being assaulted by the Sinister Six and all these other people from all the Spider-Man history past who are coming for you. They're like, Spider-Man's almost out, and Moreland does this publicly. They know what's going to happen. And so you have all these people coming out for him. Like Vulture wants to come after him, goes after Mary Jane, or Green Goblin comes out of retirement and just tries to fight him. They basically have a Sinister Six plot in there, and those be the bosses throughout the game. But you're in that situation where it's not just one night, but it's within a short period of time. Like, I would love that game. That would be a great, and you make it a little more grittier than the Arkham series is, or bring down Spider-Man to that level and make it a serious game. And it's even franchisable, because at the end of Evolve or Die, Peter does die. He's dead.
Yeah.
But what happens after that is he kind of gets put in this cocoon and actually is reborn with actual spider powers. Like, he actually gets stingers where he can stab people that come out of his wrists. He actually can shoot organic webbing at that point. It's pretty dark. It's pretty interesting. But then you can introduce Miles Morales and have that in like a whole franchise. Now,
I need Miles.
Other game, also Peter focused, same basic gameplay. However, basically take Web of Shadows and get rid of all the symbiote crap. Don't worry about that. Like, have it where New York maybe a little smaller, but it's highly designed. It's stylized. Like, you go to Harlem, it feels like you're in a Luke Cage story. Or you go to Hell's Kitchen, you feel like Daredevil's is going to be there anytime. Like, it's that kind of thing. You go to Chinatown, like all that kind of stuff. It needs to be highly stylized where you can see the difference wherever you go. But at the same time, make it a Defenders game, where New York is a very interesting place in the Marvel continuity because it is the epicenter of so many different superheroes. Basically, forget all the big people. You don't care about Iron Man, don't care about you don't care about Captain America, all that kind of stuff. Keep it just narrow. Like, Spider-Man has, like, the main story, I don't even know what it would be, goes to Harlem and meets Luke Cage. Does a team up with Luke Cage, like they do in Web of Shadows. But use a more what's the term? Updated version of Luke Cage, like a more current version, and make it kind of play into the story. And then after that, it's like, okay, he goes to Hell's Kitchen and meets Daredevil because it teams up with Daredevil and basically does all this stuff. Just like we teams up with Iron Fist, do something like that. Stay with the people who are mainly street level guys in New York, and kind of have it culminate in a big team up fight against something else. I don't know, pick something. I don't care. But that would be such a cool game to have that universe finally being realized. And like I said before, it has to have damn good gameplay. Needs to have it. And I've said for years I want Rocksteady to make it.
The gameplay would have to be. I mean, I'm not saying go out and make the story crappy, but the gameplay has to be my number one thing. Because even if all else fails, if I have a beautiful open world game where I can just be Spider-Man and just dive into my television, give me some pretty 4K textures and all that stuff, man. Oh yeah, I'd be set.
Mm-hmm. All you need to do is just get Gorilla to do the visuals and get Naughty Dog to write it. Boom. Done.
Yeah. I'm with that. All day and tomorrow. I'm with that.
All right. We'll get into that later. So if we're done with this topic, I'm ready to move on. You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
All right. So other topic we have for this evening. So we are 4 years deep into the 8th generation of consoles, or whatever you want to call it, the 8th gen. And since then, we have seen a lot of brand new IPs come out. A lot of brand new stuff, or revivals of once dead IPs. Like Doom made a return, Wolfenstein made a return. Things of this nature have finally come back. And there's been a lot of really good games. And I asked the guys to think about this for a little while before we did this. So you guys had time to answer this question. So I kind of want to get an idea. If you could pick one, maybe even two, as a backup in case someone takes yours, what two brand new IPs, starting from the end of 2013 to now that have come out, what if you could make a sequel or like have a sequel for that game come out, what would it be?
Now, see, this is pretty easy for me. The first two that really, it just comes to mind, of course. These aren't my choices, by the way, but I would say, of course, Sunset Overdrive 2, which I think is one of the best games of generation. So underrated. And another game which just went free was Rise on the Rome. Those who immediately come to mind. But the game that I would choose wholeheartedly, and it's pretty easy in my mind because I think it is the best new IP this generation, is Horizon Zero Dawn. That game has to get a sequel because it is the best game of the generation. It will be the face of PlayStation. Horizon Zero Dawn will be to the PS4 to what Uncharted was to the PS3. I guarantee it.
It's pretty deep.
It deserves a sequel.
That's a pretty bold claim. I have not played it. Hopefully, I'll be playing it sometime soon. But
you're going to love it. You're going to love it. Amazing game. It deserves a sequel. I can't wait for the expansion. Like I said, Sunset Overdrive is the generation. I love Sunset Overdrive. People who harp on Xbox not having games generation or harp on their only thing there is Halo and Gears. That means you haven't played Sunset Overdrive because you can't mention Xbox exclusives or Xbox games. You can't mention, new IPs this gen without mentioning Sunset Overdrive unless you haven't played it. That game deserves a sequel. It's set up perfectly for a sequel. Perfectly. But if I had to just choose one, it would be Sunset Overdrive. If I had to choose, I'm going to say it'd be Horizon Zero Dawn. If I had to choose two, it'd be Horizon Zero Dawn and Sunset Overdrive.
All right. What about you, Nick? You're sitting on.
Well, I've beat Rise a couple of months ago, and that game desperately needs a sequel. I agree with that. I want to see a. See, I'm a huge multi-plat fan because I don't play a lot of exclusives, unfortunately. But I haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn. It's sitting on my dresser right now.
Play it.
I'm playing my shorter games. I'm catching up on the exclusives. I'm doing the Order right now. I finished Uncharted 4.
Order. Don't waste your time with that walking simulator.
My friend bought me My Name is Mayo, which was the most disturbing game I've ever played in my life.
I'm gonna live stream that grind to get that platinum, boy.
You need 10,000 hits. I just beat it.
Oh, I beat it in 45 minutes, but it was painful. It was painful. But that game does not need a sequel.
No, we need This Is Ketchup.
Or This Is Not a Pickle.
Ooh, that sounds suggestive there.
Okay, but I'm a big Fallout head. A sequel of Fallout would be amazing, but I'm going to be waiting a while for that.
That's not a new IP.
Oh, you're talking new IP.
New IPs. This gen exclusive.
Did he say Fallout?
Yeah, he said Fallout.
Hey, I want to trigger Anchorman really fast for your answer. Hey, Anchorman, guess what I have on my Xbox that I'm never going to play?
Elite Dangerous.
Fallout 4. I'm never going to play it. Ever.
Fair enough.
Ever.
We'll just never experience greatness.
It's called Horizon Zero Dawn.
Greatness came to PlayStation in November 2015.
What? Now somebody had gave it to me, but I was like, oh yeah. And now I'm like, oh no, I'm never actually.
You gonna experience mods?
You know what? I might do it just for the mods.
You'll probably like the mods. There's some crazy shit in there. Anyway.
But yeah, sorry, new IPs this generation. I'm not gonna lie. I would like to see them flesh out and actually make a sequel to Quantum Break that was worth playing.
Yeah, buddy.
because that game had a lot of potential, and I feel it got a lot of flack because people were saying the comparison between Quantum Break and Uncharted 4 was a lot. I hadn't played Uncharted 4. After playing Uncharted 4, everyone's saying that the gunplay in Quantum Break was cheeks. Remove your bias. Both games, the gunplay was awful.
Exactly.
So get over that one. But I think with Quantum Break, they can do a sequel, but I think they got to be really careful with how they go about it. The story was really good. And the reason I say the story for Quantum Break was really good, the story is absolutely amazing if you watch all the episodes and you collect all the collectibles. However, if you don't watch the episodes and you don't collect the collectibles, the story doesn't convey very well. So maybe if they drop the episodes, flesh it out into cutscenes like a more traditional game, and have story tidbits in the collectibles, but not key story points in the collectibles. And I think it'll be okay. And everyone got hinged up on the graphics in that game. I didn't find it that bad. I did find the blurring effect they used was really headachy after a while, but that's what you get when you play the game for 6 hours straight. You shouldn't do it.
I would, speaking of that, I would like to see what type of improvement that game sees on Scorpio, if it's like a patch or whatever. I don't even know if it even need a patch, because they're saying that all the UWP games are supposed to be, if they're 4K on PC, they're 4K on Scorpio. So I still have the game digitally, so I would love to see how that game plays on Scorpio, just to get that better visual experience of the game.
Yeah, for sure. Like one thing I absolutely loved about Quantum Break was the actors and voice actors they used for that game.
Sean Ashmore did a great job, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Like it was a great game. I to be brutally honest, because I played Quantum Break a year after it came out, I feel like I had dialed my expectations back, because I remember everyone was really, really hyped about that game, and they went into it and they were disappointed. So I really dialed my expectations back, and I was really surprised with what I got. So maybe it's saying expectations too high, but it was a good average game. I think they have a stepping stone to make an amazing sequel if they take the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. I think it kind of goes the same thing for the Order 1886. I just beat it yesterday. I'm actually doing the platinum stuff now. I missed a couple collectibles, but the thing about it though, which is really funny, like my expectations were lower, and I made fun of this game when it came out. I was there. I remember vividly. I remember making fun of the Order 1886, and I actually really like this game. And that's actually my pick. I think the Order 1886 needs a sequel so bad. Like, this world is just begging for an actual, honest to goodness sequel. Like, it really does. Like, it is such a interesting, complex world. Which is like just a meh kind of story. But I mean, a lot of the first games have missed stories.
To be brutally honest, with the Order 1886, because I'm playing it right now, I saw you started it, so I was like, oh, I'll start it and see if I haven't finished it yet.
I started and finished it.
Yeah, I'm about halfway through, because I only started playing it yesterday for a couple hours. And it almost feels like an attempt at... It feels like it could potentially be Sony's Gears of War if they give the sequel some TLC.
Do not disrespect Gears of War like that, sir. Blasphemy. Don't be disrespectful.
Hey, Gears gameplay is amazing. That story, though?
I like the story in Gears. I love the first one, of course, the story. And people talk crap about Gears of War 4 story. I was very intrigued in that story. And I was excited about that ending because it left me on the perfect cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't play Gears of War 4, go play it.
Here's the thing. I want to talk about the Order for a minute. Just simply because the Order, it is such a good game. Like it has moments where it's brilliant, but then moments where it's just like, this is so dumb. Like, why are we doing this?
Like in fights,
yeah, like in fights, and you'll wait till you get there. You'll know what I'm talking about. But at the same time, I think it learned from its mistakes. I think it has the opportunity to be a great game. The issue, though, is okay. Here, let me put it this way. Last of Us, which I beat Last of Us as well, that game has great characters, a damn good story. The problem is the world is just boring as shit. Like, I'm going to be honest. I would rather kill myself than go back to that world. It's not interesting. It's not
tripping.
Just
today.
like it's not interesting. Like, you're only there for the characters, because all it is just generic world collapse number 1 or world collapse number 5. Actually, it really is not. Like, the world is not the appeal there. The world building is not that great. Yeah, there's a cool aesthetic to it of the overgrown stuff, but how creative was that really? But I don't like. I'll go back to watch Joel and Ellie. I won't be going back to play to go in the world. I think that's what Naughty Dog realized, and that's why you're going back with Joel and Ellie, because they realized you can't sequel this without them, because people won't care. And The Order has the opposite problem. The world, the story, the characters, I could forget about them. I like them personally, but they're not necessary. The world's interesting. That's what matters. I care about seeing Nikola Tesla. I care about seeing Darwin. I care about seeing all these other people. I care all these figures through history. I care about seeing Lafayette. But it's not like, it's not that super important thing, though, where you need to have those characters to exist, because the world's interesting enough as it is. But I would rather, if I could pick, I would sacrifice Last of Us Part 2 for an Order 1887.
Bye. The show is over. This has been another great multiverse show. You guys have an amazing day. Thank y'all for watching this bull.
April Fool's was 4 days ago. Like,
right, man.
Like, I can't comment. I will say I am enjoying the Order 1886, mainly because my expectations were so damn low for it. I do agree the world's very interesting. I cannot make a Last of Us comparison to it because I haven't played The Last of Us yet, because it's one of those games. I got a PS4. I had a couple of friends give me some games. I picked up some games in bargain bins. I haven't had a chance to pick up things like Last of Us, Ratchet and Clank I want to pick up. Money's been tight, so I haven't been able to pick up the games that I wanted. I got Horizon Zero Dawn. The guy at GameStop pitched it in on top of my PS4 for $10. That's the only reason I have that game. So shout out to the guys at GameStop for that. But I haven't played The Last of Us yet, but if I was to do a comparison, because the only other Naughty Dog game I've played on PS4 so far is Uncharted 4, and I found the opposite with Uncharted 4 is the world in Uncharted 4 is just, so beautiful. I got so immersed in the game, even though I got really bored through the first 8 chapters of that game, because it was all character building, and with my last Uncharted being the first one, kind of didn't have a real good grasp on what was going on. But I'll have to go back and play the other ones. But it was the story kept me going through the game. With The Order, it's the gameplay that keeps me going, because it is a fun game. Now, the QTE events, I'm not going to lie, bug the hell at me, because it kind of ruins what could have been really epic moments with, quick time events. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of quick time events in games, but I definitely would not say, like, even without playing The Last of Us, I cannot see wanting a sequel to The Order over The Last of Us. I just can't see it.
Well, keep in mind, for me, there were 2 things I didn't like Last of Us for. The first one was, I don't like zombies. You could dress them up however you like. The infected are still zombies. They act like zombies. They behave like zombies. They bite you to spread the disease. Like, they're zombies, man. Like, you can call them whatever you want. You can say fungal, infected, random thing. I don't care. They're zombies. Like, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Like that's my thing. I just don't. I just do not connect with the zombie thing. Back in 2013, zombies were all the rage, but I was tired of zombies at that point as it was. The other thing is, keep in mind, I haven't played a Naughty Dog game since Crash Bandicoot Racing. I don't play Naughty Dog games. Like, Uncharted does not interest me personally. Same with Tomb Raider. It's like, it's okay. I just don't get into it. I'm gonna give it a shot, see if maybe it'll pull me in. We'll see how that goes. But I just, for whatever reason, I just got really pissed off with a lot of the obligatory platforming crap. Like, oh, we got to find a ladder. So we can put the ladder here and then move it again. Or, oh, Ellie can't swim. So instead of teaching her to swim after like maybe 1 or 2 days and solving this problem immediately, we're just not going to teach her how to swim for a year. Because that's the situation. Yeah. So we're not going to teach her to swim. So we're going to have these little platform, little things because she can't swim. You got to move her across. Ugh, man. And it's like, oh, find the dumpster. So you can move the dumpster. That annoys the crap out of me.
Well, I'm going to tell you then, you're not going to like Uncharted 4 then.
Oh, I already know. I've heard about
there is convenient wheelie boxes everywhere.
Yep. Or called dumpsters in Last of Us. I just that annoys me. It's a stupid little thing to pad out the game's time so you can throw in a little dialogue so you can connect with people. It just that I didn't really like that personally. I think when Last of Us really started to shine was towards the end when you go to the university and you're not really doing anything ultra important. You're just kind of scavenging, avoiding zombies if you can, or killing them all. You're having a good time because you're not playing the platforming Naughty Dog game. It was enjoyable. So that's my issue with it personally. What else is there? Anything else? But yeah, I mean that's where I generally stand on a lot of the stuff. I would have said Fame already took my one for Sunset Overdrive. Sunset Overdrive needs a sequel so bad.
It does. It's an amazing
online
game.
co-op the whole way through. But yeah, I think that's just kind of where I stand on it. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Wait a minute. So what was your game again? Oh, The Order.
The Order.
We got so sidetracked with that conversation. I forgot what game you chose.
No. Oh, I will say this though. Having a PlayStation is interesting to me because I just don't. I'm not a big exclusive guy. Me and Nick are very similar in that regard. But like, from what I've played, as a general rule, from what I've learned so far, having played Infamous, The Order, and Last of Us, Sony in general has a better story element on their games. Yes. They have good stories. The problem is their gameplay is pretty average. And Microsoft has the opposite problem. Their stories are average to bad. And I'm not talking about lore. I'm not talking about background stuff. I'm talking in general, the exclusive stuff. The stories are just okay. Like in terms from the game starts to where the game ends, not the background information. And like Halo 5 is a good example. Halo 5 has a weak plot. Everyone admits this. It's not what we were teased. It's just not that interesting. And the pacing's really bad, and you're switching between people. It's just not that interesting. The lore in the world is great, but the actual plot is not that good. But the gameplay is where Microsoft can really exceed, because at its best, like I don't even really like Gears of War, but I will say Gears of War has better gameplay than all the games I've played on PlayStation so far. Like in terms of the base mechanics, the way the thing flows, it's just better. And that's an opinion thing. It's better to me. But the story is just kind of okay. As opposed to good stories to great stories on PlayStation.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know. The one thing I will give Uncharted 4 a huge nod for is how fluid the climbing mechanics are. It sounds like a really stupid thing to get caught up in, but I was really the first couple of levels where there was just a lot of climbing and not a lot of gunplay. I was really impressed with how fluid the climbing was, especially compared to I've only played the first Tomb Raider game, and in comparison to that, it's miles difference in how smooth the climbing gameplay is. And it's a good thing it's smooth because you spend about a quarter of the game climbing.
Yep.
But yeah, I agree with you so far. Like from what I've experienced, now I've only experienced, Uncharted 4 and I started The Order 1886. I haven't had a lot of time. I've got Killzone in the backlog. I got Horizon Zero Dawn I got to do, and I've got a couple other ones I've got kicking around. But yeah, so far the stories have been absolutely amazing. The gameplay has been good to average at best. And I'm not a huge, as you said, I'm not a huge exclusive guy either, but they're good.
Yeah. That's pretty much it, guys.
Hey, before we go, can we do a quick? So there's rumors that we might get some Scorpio news Thursday.
Yep.
We get a quick. You guys want to do a quick prediction on what we may or may not see on Thursday?
Specs.
Because the rumor has it that we're going to see that they're going to talk about some stuff that could be shown off on there as far as Red Dead 2 and things like that. Like you got to think it just be hey, here's some specs. So, apparently the rumor is like Eurogamer. Someone is supposed to be out there, and they're supposed to be revealing Scorpio or something along that.
I think it's generic. I think it's more like here's the specs to the thing, and people will go over, or maybe even have a name, just a name. Please, anything but Scorpio. I'm so tired of hearing that name.
I love Scorpio.
I don't know,
Tripping, dog.
Hey, real quick. Go ahead, Nick. Before you go, just go ahead, Nick.
I don't know. I think if they reveal, I will say this is that if they actually reveal a physical, like there's a box and it is called Xbox Supreme or whatever the hell they call this thing. Xbox of X. There's been so many great names I've seen on Twitter today. But if they reveal the box with all the specs and this is the launch date for it, I'll be excited because that means they're not going to focus on it at E3, and that just drives my hype level for the Xbox conference that much higher.
Yep.
Yeah. Get it out of the way. We don't care about the crap. We don't care about the specs. We just want to see the games.
Well, for me, me and Kofi were talking about this. Everyone's like, "Oh, if Scorpio's $499, it'll be okay." For me, if Scorpio's $499, I won't invest. That's gonna be like a $700 and $800 console up here. I will dip hard at that, but I hope it's affordable for the common buying market. So we'll wait and see.
All right. James, who was not able to make it here with us, he's down in the down under down there, and he had a prepared statement he wanted me to read. Since the dawn of time, humanity has yearned for efficiency. This is evident in our ever-growing desire to make faster and more economical cars, planes, and trains. This hunger has bled into our obsession with technology and manifested in the form of speed. This desire for instantaneous reactions is the exact reason why any sort of latency is considered a personal insult. With regard to the games industry, this thesis is especially prescient as the news of South Park: Fractured But Whole has been put on the shelf for a seemingly indefinite period. In summary, I have one question. Fame Entertainment, do your tears taste sweet or sour in the wake of this news, and how many bottles should I use to collect them and sell to the fans of Firefly, Star Wars 1313, and Beyond Good and Evil?
Don't talk to me. I don't want to talk about it.
You know what? I will go all the way to Australia and smack the hell out of James.
This is it's like I lost a child. So this is very touching.
So wait, hold up. This game's like shelved permanently?
Yeah.
Like
people who pre-ordered on PlayStation have been refunded, and Xbox guys are getting messages saying, you can't pre-order anymore.
I think I feel like I just lost my last child. God damn.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah. Crazy, right? Just kind of amazing that this is shown off with such prominence at E3. It's gone.
Oh, well, I'm boycotting Ubisoft now. Screw these guys.
Also, he had one last thing he wanted me to say. He said, while I have this platform, I would like to announce that iZombie Season 3 is back in action on April 4th.
Gross.
To me, this is the best show in the world apart from Game of Thrones, and I wish more people would watch it. If you do, please tweet me at James_S Wilson so we can get talking about this great, great show. Peace, love, may the force be with you, and hello to Jason Isaacs.
So I'm gonna have me and Fame are gonna have to go tweet James and tell him that iZombie's trash.
It is. It is.
I hope it gets put on the shelf.
All right, guys, we gotta roll out. I'm gonna get this platinum in order 1886. And
I'm about to start my that mayo grind. I'm gonna still get this platinum, but I'm gonna get it. You know what I'm saying?
See, I've been trying to keep up with Anchorman in the PlayStation Trophy game, but he's getting ahead of me pretty quickly.
Now play Mayo. That'll save you.
I already did.
And be on the lookout. Tick might be in Russia. Boy, Nick going to Russia. Nick say he ain't going, but he going.
All right, guys. We got to head out of here. We got stuff to do. Okay, thank you guys for checking out the show. Remember, this has been episode 49 of the Multiverse Show. Check us out. We are going to also be on Podbean later tonight. You guys can go check that out. And we will see you guys later. See you.